Hello, everybody. We're technically back. Sorry about that. For some reason, OBS refused to pick up my microphone. So I had to literally shut everything, shut the PC down, restart it, disable some things to make it realize that I have a microphone. Please use it. So I guess with that, we jump into queue for about 30 minutes, probably. Unlucky. Very unlucky. At least the title screen is good. About all I can say so far. Oh, 900 Q, that's not bad at all. It'll be a few minutes. Besides, give me a chance to get everything set back up again after a PC restart. It's going to have to be a VOD to delete later. It's like 2-minute VOD. I think. So I need to bring up. Okay, I think we're good. So, yeah, just had to force OBS to actually acknowledge I have a headset, I have a mic, please use the headset mic and not the, for some reason, the capture card has a microphone. Oh, and also, probably because I plugged this in. Hello, I have a webcam. I actually have a face. And I'm pretty sure everything went to hell as soon as I plugged that webcam in. Unfortunate. So while we were sitting in the queue, we're already down by 100 people. So yeah, apologies for basically taking a month off. I've been sick, dealing with IRL BS. Been put in a foul mood a lot of times over the past couple of weeks. Just generally haven't been feeling all that great and wanting to stream. In fact, I've been sick over the past week whenever I've been wanting to do this. As with, what was it, Friday? I turned stream on for about a half hour Saturday because I wanted to do all the job stuff and couldn't make it because I was sick still. But yeah, I did get a COVID booster shot, and that's been bullying me lately. It bullied the hell out of me yesterday, and it's still kind of doing it today. Hence the sniffles. I think we're over that, and we can actually do the game. I've been putting this off for just about a week. And it's taken a lot of self-control to not just say, screw it, I'm just going to play it, and then I'll do a New Game Plus run of it later. It's been tempting, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to apologize in advance for a bunch of sniffles due to the booster shot. Maybe get out of it a little bit, like headache wise, because I still haven't. I definitely feel a lot better today than I did yesterday. I'll say that much. Just gotta wait to. I was somewhat hesitant to shut the PC down because I didn't want to go back in the queue for. We're at 6 minutes now, but it seems to be moving along at a decent pace. Can we just acknowledge the fact that I hate how Windows, whenever you plug a webcam in, defaults everything to go through the webcam? Like, who in their right mind uses a webcam as a microphone? Okay, let me rephrase that. Is there any streamer in their right mind who uses a webcam as their microphone? And is actually able to have good quality, good sound quality anyway. I know mine's probably still not the best because it's a headset mic, but surely headset mic's got to be better than webcam mic. And the same goes with OBS too. I plug in the webcam and every single setting that I had went to hell. Almost makes me just want to unplug the damn thing and go without a webcam, but I don't know, something streamer reaction, something tears, tissues, something feelings. And again, apologies for the queue time and the delay. Stuck at 7:55 apparently. It dropped down by like 100 and then it just kind of stopped. At least it's better than like for seeing like 4K, 5K, 6K people and just you're done for the night. Go home. Turns out the semiconductor shortage sucks. Not just for MMOs, but for everybody. Yes. Also gotta get used to stream elements over Streamlabs. And, you know, everybody mass exodus off of Streamlabs due to them apparently being a crappy company with crappy practices. Hey, dropped down by another 100. Nice. You know, all things considered, while the login servers are kind of sucky, at least once you get into the game, it's 99.9% stable. So there is that. And then we effectively got a free week with the login servers being the way they are, and some people literally unable to play the game. Like, they get done with work at, say, on the West Coast, 5 o'clock East, or not 5 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Excuse me. Meanwhile, like Mountain Time, Central Time, Eastern Time, they've already been off of work, they've been in the queue, so the people that are on the Pacific get on the queue at like 5:30, get nailed with 6K queue. GG, guess you can't play today. Or if you can, it's like 10 o'clock by the time you actually log in, but you have your typical 9 to 5 job. So 10 p.m. is about sleep time, so you can only play for like 30 minutes and then you gotta hop off, go to bed. I get that. It sucks. And I kind of feel for those people. You know, we've been forewarned about this for months, that especially when the mass exodus from Blizzard happened and all the WoW players jumped ship and came over here and brought their viewers with them. And next thing you know, active population just taking a guess, doubled, maybe tripled. And it's kind of hard to tell, especially at this point in the game, how many people are still doing Endwalker content, how many people are still back in ARR, Heaven's Ward, so on, like trying to get their way, progress their way through the game in their own pace at their own time. I know one person I watch, she's on a, I don't know if she's cleared Stormblood yet, but she's got to be close, from what I know. And there's some people who haven't even started MSQ like me and have just been kind of waiting for the queues to die off a little bit, so that way they can jump on and do their thing. Not a whole lot to do, except just wait for the queue. I will say, just for the sake of saying it, if you've done your MSQ and you're just like coming in to see how others are progressing and whatnot, don't spoil anything. I'm pretty sure I've already spoiled myself enough incidentally, but everything so far has been completely out of context, and I'm just like, what does this mean? Or why are people standing here? And so on, but I completely forgot what I was actually saying. I just completely blanked. Looking on my phone, going through the random social medias, trying to keep up on everything. I know I was ranting about something, and then I just completely blanked. Down to 530. Slowly getting there. And down another 80-ish. He's taken. I'll be honest, I didn't expect a 800 person queue or whatever it was to be as long as it was. Kinda figured we'd be in playing the game already. Nope. Yes, I'm the idiot. Well, I guess while we wait, might as well take a get up, stretch, and be an adult and do all that stuff. So I'll be back. Whoop. As soon as I say that, drops another like 70 people. Ah, excuse me. See, that's a secret. You have to give up hope that the queue's going to go down, and then it goes down. No, no, I think about it. Game Awards are tonight, so I probably picked a bad time to do this. Also dropped 88 frames for some reason. Anyway, you can do like 4 hours. And then I can pause for Game Awards and then do this tomorrow. Whenever I get done doing errands and stuffs. Time's at Game Awards 7:30 Eastern. Let me check. I think it's at 7:30. Live in 3 hours at 7 o'clock. Okay. Well, okay. It turns on at 7 o'clock, but according to their actual times, it doesn't get going until 7:30. So I guess they have like a half-hour pre-show or wind up or whatever. Okay. Because I know that pizza promotion kicks off at like 7:30, so I'm kind of thinking about doing it, but also I've never done Grubhub before in my life, so I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. And I hope it doesn't have to be delivery only. I hope I can just do a pickup order. Because if it's delivery, it's kind of going to suck because I can get to most places that'll do a Grubhub that's around me in 10-15 minutes, especially at 7:30 at night. Some of them even 5 minutes. And they charge like an $8 delivery fee. I don't want to spend $8 to save what wind up being like a 15-minute round trip. You know, I do value my time, but it's not $8 worth. Like, I think there's a McDonald's that's not even a mile away, but takes like 5 minutes to get there because of stop signs and traffic lights if you hit them wrong. At most, it'll take you 10 minutes to get there. And at 7:30, it's probably going to be closer to 5 minutes because there's not that many people on the road. You know, it takes 5 minutes to get there. You place your order. It takes 5 minutes to make it. You're out the door. 5 minutes to get back. 15 minutes. And Grubhub wants to charge me $8 for that. No. And I went through their terms and conditions and rules for everything, and all it said was you need to place an order for $15 before taxes, fees, and tip. It didn't specify if it needs to be a delivery or if you can do a pickup. I guess I'll find out later tonight when I make an attempt. I have to go through Grubhub again to see what places they actually have, but I know McDonald's is on there, Wendy's is on there, Subway's on there, Papa John's is on there. Might do Papa John's because it'll be the easiest way to get to $15. It's Papa John's. You buy one pizza and you're over the limit. I think Pizza Hut was on there too, and they're the same way. Buy a stuffed crust pizza, boom, that's $15. Well, we got 169 people, nice, in the queue. New Taco Bell, but I don't know, Taco Bell would take a hot minute to get up to $15, wouldn't it? Tim Hortons is on here. I go to Tim Hortons. There's a sub place around me somewhere I've never heard of. What is this place? And where is it? Excuse me. It's a pretty close place to me, but I've never heard of it before. Apparently it's a sub place I've never heard of before, but I don't know, might try a new place tonight and then see if the Endwalker promo works on a pickup order, and if it doesn't, well. Probably also look up their hours. Because my luck, I'd place an order and they close at 7:30. Good thing I looked, because they close at 7 p.m. You gotta love it. Alright, so what other options are there? What's this place's hours again? These guys are open until 10 p.m., so... And if I remember this place's prices, it's pretty easy to get to $15. Might do that. They also make a pretty damn good pizza. And I think by default it is $15. So, might get a pizza and a sandwich and call it good. Oh, almost there. There we go. We are in. 41-minute delay to fix audio issues. Alrighty, do I remember how to do this stream thing? Also, hello again. Govern chat, so hopefully no spoilers. Oh, oops. Oh, I'm covering the webcam. Alright, E logo, you go down. You can go that and cover the chat. Alright. Alrighty. It's been... When did I finish my New Game Plus run? A month and a half ago. Starting off with a weapon coffer at 515. I have a relic, so that's irrelevant. Do I even remember his voice? Lycus, do you have some time to talk? Yeah. I would like to gather everyone at Dawn's Respite and to get together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. Let us take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in a multitude of locations throughout the world. We have since learned that said structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Telophoroi. The Telophoroi's stated purpose is to recreate the final days of eons past, an apocalyptic event that will result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already have these towers of theirs been the cause of untold suffering. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their faith perverted for primal summonings. I like the music. And unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Those shielded with the blessing of light seem able to resist being tempered at least. But after what happened at Endwalker for Dover, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. Yet while these threats close to home are of paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald. As you know, the Telophoroi are under the leadership of Daniel and one other delightful fellow, Xenoche Galvis, the Crown Prince and our dear friend. To date, he's reclaimed his old body, murdered Emperor Varus, and plunged Garlemald into an even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has probably seen the worst of it. For a good while there, it saw the bloodiest fighting in a war of succession. That has since changed, and in troubling ways. Aye. During our reconnaissance, the air was not one rent by the barking of cannons or the cries of discord. 'Twas an eerie fog of silence which did blanket that ruined city. The inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, and with nary a word spoken did they labor to transform the palace into a soaring edifice born of nightmares. If they were indeed made thralls, it seems safe to assume that these events too were orchestrated by the Telophori. An army of primals is powerful enough, but in light of recent developments, I fear it is only a prelude to an even greater catastrophe. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, and quickly, before our allies are overwhelmed. We will find a way in Charlie, and I am sure of it. Master Fortuneau's comments regarding the final days were curious, to say the least. The forum knows more than it's letting on. Sorry to interrupt. We've just received word from Mistress Cryle. Alright, I like the music. She says that arrangements for your visit have been finalized. Alright. So, Charlian's the first place. You're to head to Limsa Laminsa and board the next ship bound for Charlian. And on arrival, present yourselves as associates of the students of Baldesion, come to assist with the Order's restoration. The arrangements may be settled, but what of your thoughts? You must race at the prospect of returning home after so long. I am eager to see it, of course. Of course. We should set off at once. Then I'll accompany you to the docks. You need at least one person there to wave and cry and wish you a safe journey. She's dead. Called it. Tataru's the first casualty. Um, hmm. Oops, hold on. In case you've been wondering what I've been doing this entire week, gotten basically every tank to 81. I did get Sage to 81. That'll probably be what I use for the healing role quests. Reaper to 81, because that'll be the easy pick for melee DPS. Machinist got to 81. That'll probably be my physical ranged. And magical ranged, I got Red Mage to 81 and did a little bit of Summoner too. Summoner got some zoopy zoomies. So it's pretty much what I've been doing this entire like week. Also, Paladin's at 82 to hopefully not get Emmett level locked, because I hear that is a possibility when it comes to excuse me, what you call it, MSQ. Some people are saying that it's possible to get level locked at 89, 88 to 89, or 89 to 90. I forget. All right, Stinian. Nope, that's not it. I was gonna say there's like 3 more people. Come on. Alright. Oops, sorry. Everyone's here, which is good, because I've already paid for your passage, and the fee is non-refundable. At 22 million. I'm fine. Ship for Charlian should be pulling into port soon, so please follow me and have all your luggage close at hand. Cutscene from the, what you call it? Launch trailer.
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule, or so I'm told.
Excellent. 'Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny. Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one.
I can tell that the VAs were done at home. A little bit of echoing, but no complaints.
And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
Aye. 'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief. Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louis Soir of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Will this be your first visit to Charlian, Sir Estinian? Sir Estinian?
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I, merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company. Or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphino.
You've made your point, Estinian. Painfully well.
Better.
Are you all right, Tataru? You seem positively distraught. distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland. It's just, we're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hell-bent on destroying the world. And once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
This is a hell of a motto that I live by. No sense worrying about the things we're powerless to change.
Well, that's hardly comforting.
Am I wrong, though?
You're still here.
The B team? Holy shit.
Hori! Coulternay! What brings you all this way?
We're to assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower.
They are actually voiced.
Sabine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye, we your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
We set the sail! All aboard for Charlian!
It's time.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
Have a safe journey, and please, please, be careful.
We're going back and everybody's dead. Mordona gets obliterated.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown.
Hello, Emmett.
A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux. In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. Treasure every moment, every step of your descent.
Nizoth.
And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
Going back to the Stormblood way of traveling around the map. Alright. I'm here for it.
Here. Feel. Think.
2.x callback.
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser.
though we're hardly alone in that. Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt.
Oh, excuse me.
Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself. In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Charlian should be coming into view at any moment.
We're up before the sun, so I guess why not? Hello, Vina. I assume that's you.
My voice yet reaches you. I am glad. Hear, feel, think. And thus do we meet face to face at last. My warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
It's a hell of a choice. So, if we go by one of the last scenes in Shadowbringers, you've been waiting, you've been silent ever since the end of patch 3.0 at the end of the Dragon Song War. Why now are you reaching out to me after in-game canonically 8 months, 9 months, maybe a year?
After your sojourn in the First, I believe you have your answer. You have gained an understanding of what I truly am, what Eidolon has always been, a primal.
So, is that to say we're tempered?
Was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield.
Is that why?
Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms. Monumental. Which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time. Another age.
just over yonder.
So,
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land. We shall meet again, and soon.
so soft confirming that Azim and Vanal were friends of a sort.
Oh, what a fine morning. Oh, still a bit stiff though.
And a good morning to you too. Taking a look at the island already?
No, not yet.
Then let's go. Let's go. Might still be room in the prow if we're lucky.
Ah, the sleepers have arisen. There she is. Good old Charlian.
Oh, I see it.
Home. Home at last. Well, maybe not in Father's eyes. But we'll manage on our own, if we must.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you? Indeed. 'Tis as Sir Estinian saith. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Charlian proper. There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
Depends on how willing they're, or how willing they are to open to us.
Charlian, the solitary island nation of the northern seas. Where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets. Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands. How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Ala Megan soil. So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
I thought they'd never let us off the ship. What's next then? Entry applications?
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
Hasn't Charlian all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
'Tis true that, as a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders, especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge. If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
May.
Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed. The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions. Kral has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration. Grahatir, it might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
You want to don your Crystal Exarch?
Of course. The immigration officers were this way, as I recall. Shall we?
Become the Crystal Exarch again for a few minutes, if you would. Diplomacy our way inside the borders.
Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
I am. Grahatir of the Students of Baldessian at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
Very good. I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today. And it seems some few of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Ishtola rule.
Lalafell already kind of sus about us.
See how it glows? That list is etherically linked with the citizen registry kept in the main repository.
I've confirmed your status as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home. Now, who do we have here?
Alphino Leveilleur.
And Alize Leveilleur.
Your applications have also been approved. Having said that, the streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny.
Yeah, about that.
And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
We shall keep that in mind.
These last two are not Sharlayan natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Name and occupation?
I think it's Drock, artisan.
Indeed. Your profile describes you as an adventurer, but one also trained in the rather more constructive pursuits of procurement and production. You may enter. And you, sir?
Estinian Valinor, formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formally, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
Stomped.
If you'll allow me... My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Mistress Baldessian, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it. But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. But I thank you for your concern.
Stidian with that nat 1 on diplomacy with a 0 modifier.
Croyle, it is good to see you.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you will seem none the worse for wear. There is much to discuss, but this is hardly the place. Let's be on our way, shall we? Oh! Welcome, friends, to Sharlayan.
As your mercenary, I should hope my welcome includes a generous salary.
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
Hell of a opening cutscene. So if I go back and talk to this Lalafell, what do they say? Don't start any shit. Got it. Can you swim? No, of course not. Music is a thing. Before I proceed, must attune. Look at that nerd. Did you model? God, you modeled this after. You modeled the Crystarium after this place. I'm glad I spotted your ship coming to port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Linkus and Estinian's first time in Charlian, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you all may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Nice little chill music. Chill guitar. I like it. Once you're settled in, we can reconvene at the Baldassian Annex. How does that sound? 'Tis a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at the Levia estate as such, but I would like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I am equally untethered, as it were. There is no particular place that my kin call home. Still, I would not pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex was west of the Aetherite Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. I too have places I would be remiss in not visiting forthwith. By thy leave. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours for the asking. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. But Oh. Well, Raha, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Oh, of course, if you'll have me. Come, Linkus, Charlian awaits. He gets the fanboy and lead me around the city. This can only go so well. After you, my friend. I am more than confident to follow your lead. Rahiti is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. All set? Then let's be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly enough, will be the last stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. All right then. I have a cat boy and a cat girl, small cat girl, and a cat boy. So what's with the statue? Now that is a sight one could hardly forget. The great statue of Thaliak. As a student of Baldessian, I was usually quartered on the Isle of Val, but I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to the city. This path leading out towards the sea is known as the Thaliak Stoa, so named for the statue of the scholar which stands at its end. As you know, the Charlian people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, when Thaliak was chosen as our patron deity, it was more a matter of pragmatism than belief. An alignment of principles, as it were. We have honored him with a rather impressive sculpture. Sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restrictive as that of, say, the Ishgadians. Individual Charlians can, and do, worship the divines with their choosing. Have any place, the Levier Estate, huh? Journey's End. Oh, that's the actual objective. So if I turn on walking, they automatically walk. Nice. I knew you couldn't jump on this damn statue. Random NPC. Nothing out here, just more was it G-Po spots? Get in the circle. And here we are, the last stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Charlian tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. I remember Archon loaf. How can I put this? Food is, well, it's bland. As encapsulated by our famous Archon loaf, the prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first and taste a distant second. There was one pupil at the studium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer, so he quit his lessons and poured all his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the last stand came to be, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Charlian, the one and only bastion of the culinary arts in an isle of otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the more impressive items on the menu. Not that I ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Or you about to have a dinner date? Because you were a typical Charlian when it came to cheap and convenient, Raha. But surely Tataru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should stop in when the time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall we press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe there will take us up to the Aetheryte Plaza. Yeah, you guys have burgers here? I want to get a burger. Dick on. You can't buy a burger. Bullshit. One of you nerds better have a burger option next time I come here. Can't tease us by saying they have bomb burgers and then not give us the option to buy a damn burger. Come on. These are hunting leaves. Aetheryte over here I'd rather get first. There is the bit of a lag. Cryo? The unusual shape, isn't it? Yeah? I assure you, however, that it's a perfectly functioning Aetheryte. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. Oh, excuse me. Now, being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Charlian stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of Allagan Aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct that was essentially a lost art. And off we go to our next destination. Our path leads northeast to the Agora, Charlian's largest marketplace. So you go northeast to that. Are there any more of those additional lore circles hanging out anywhere? Is this where the game ends? Here at Journey's End? Missed opportunity if it doesn't. Only a handful of houses. Gee, I wonder if we get to go in the house at any point. Judging by the cutscene, people probably. Oh, you can just walk right in. Well, screw it. Freedom must ask you to leave and just lets me go in anyway. Look at this place. Can we go in here? No. You just straight up walk in here. Come on. No MSQ at all. You just walk right into the front door. Whee! Ow, my ankles. Apparently, you can hold down control by default while on the map and make the aetheryte show above everything else. Alright, where's the next MSQ point? Okay, so this is where the market board is. Summoning bell. Gemstone trader, materia melder, material supplier, repair, full plate armoire proprietor. What do you have? You have level 80 gear. What the hell is that sword? So they're flowery weapons. Okay. What about the actual gear? It's a armored coat. Eh. Hey, Cryo. Welcome to the Agawa, where you can find wares made in Charlian, as well as a wide selection of imported goods. They also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think that practice has thankfully died out, for the most part. Otherwise, I can think of no better place to stock up for your next big adventure. That's an earpiece. One sec. That flopped off. Okay, sorry. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one which has particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. We must head back to the Aetheryte Plaza, follow the path north, then climb the stairs up to that imposing building at the very top. Is that their actual archives? I was gonna say, or you could just be pure ruffians. As Charlians are probably want to label us as. You know, I take a road and you just jump and walk on the grass. Like a heathen. study him over there. Called the Rostra? However you say that. Confluence, Annex. You just walk in. Just walk in. What's in here? Uh-huh. It's where the forum congregates, as seen in the, the trailer. With Fortuno probably being front and center. And that's probably going to come into play based on all the cutscenes. This grand structure before you is the Rostra. I'm guessing that's how you say it. The name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver orientations, debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council members, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here, one can see the entire city spread out below. The vista put me in mind of my arrival in the first. Those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I could think of, the great city of Charlian. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, the Crystarium. I can almost see its echo. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the counselors would object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. I've already been there. I guess this is where you'll probably get told, hey, that's, Alphino and Alize's former house. We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us that this was where those who put ashore with Archon Ninecorth built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as the residential district for the most important officials and the oldest Charlian families. You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. That estate belongs to our friends from House Levier. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Charlian tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. And now, shall we head directly to the Baldassian Annex? You remember the way, don't you, Raha? Let me think. We head down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, and follow the path below the Aetheryte Plaza. Correct. After you, Linkus. should probably turn off like names and titles and whatnot. How do I do that? Display name settings. Companions, pets, others, party members. Hide titles. One tart. Oh, actually, always display full name. Hide titles. Hide titles. I can change. I didn't know you could change your colors here. Probably turn off pets too. How do I turn off pets? Minions. Untargeted. I think it should be fine. As the joyous look on Raha's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Baldassian Annex. If you continue up the hill, you'll arrive at the doorstep of the phenomena, but I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you, then. Yes, ma'am. I'm back, and I brought Linkus and Raha with me. Is that? That's the Lalafell from Eureka, isn't it? Ah, you were right about the ship then. Hello, Graha. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Linkus. I've heard many a tale of your exploits. No, it's not the same. Ojika? Ojika Sunjika has been an age. Allow me to introduce Ojika, cousin of Ijika Sunika, administration officer for the students of Baldassian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the Annex. So he's a cousin of them. I read the reports on the Eureka expedition. I hope Ijika didn't cause you too much trouble. He's impatient and impetuous, but a good sort at heart. This place is like a second home for the students. The IO Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Charlian. Whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. The annex here was built to provide lodgings for our members while we engaged in such activities. Now that my headquarters is on the wrong side of the world, among other things, the annex has become our new base of operations for all intents and purposes. It feels so empty. With so many lost to us, our organization is a shell of its former self. The day will come when we will see the students rise again. But first, we must ensure that the Talaphoroi fall. Through that door on the left is the main hall where we can discuss our options moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is. Probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. I've had private quarters prepared for you in the Arden, so please feel free to make yourself at home. Ah, the nap rooms. Perfect for an afternoon doze. fall asleep. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed. Far more than some cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. 'Twas simply that we were often so busy with research, or exhausted from journeys abroad, that we would slip into the yard and just to steal a few winks. And thus they became known amongst the students as rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the following morning. Only say the word, and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. That's a lot of people. Can't go in there yet. So this is the inn room. It is indeed an inn room. Comfy feather bed, huh? The hell is that? Ifrit? Looks like it says a bowl of embers. Can't really read. Maybe that stuff says. ARR cutscene. Or trailer, should say. Yeah, what's with the Ifrit and the... It says the bowl of embers, right? The something of something 7-B. It's a giant Ifrit. Okay. Well, before we wander in here and get put into probably a lot more cutscenes, I think I've been going for almost 2 hours and haven't even stood up or taken a break yet, so I'm going to flip that on, move it up. There it goes. And I am going to take my first break for the stream, get up, stretch my legs, all that good stuff. I implore all of you folks to do the same. Grab some water, stretch your legs, grab some snackies if you want, and I will be back shortly. Okay. I think I saved it. I think, hopefully. Check and see. Hello? Check and see. Okay. Something's up with my microphone or headset because whenever I flip my mic up for an extended period of time, I bring it back down, but every device that I have set up to detect the mic stops detecting it for some reason, and I don't know why. But I've just now found out I can literally unplug the USB receiver in my PC, plug it back in, and then all of a sudden it detects again. This is really annoying. And indication that I might need a new headset in the future. Anyways, welcome back. Go ahead and flip that off. And flip off the BRB. Need to adjust this ring light. Go like that. It's kind of blinding though, but I don't know. Maybe if I do, I point it down like that. Yeah, first time ring light problems. Trying to get in a position where it shines light but doesn't like completely blind me. Try like down there. But I think no matter where I put it, it's going to blind me, so. Okay. I think it's good. I think no matter what, I'm just going to have to deal with it being right there. So, alright, turned off everything needs to be turned off. In we go. Feeling refreshed and alert? Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
It's fine, Oriange. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroid's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois. Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, The recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, he had simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Charlian colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown.
So let's see, Crystal Tower, Garlemald? Looks Crystarium-y. Maybe Snowcloak? Maybe. That is definitely Eureka. That looks like, not Ishgard, but the Kurthan Central Highlands? Or whichever one isn't Ishgard, or is it the Heavensward Zone? Authard?
The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nidana, an alchemist residing in distant Thavnair. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal. In response to this threat, the Satrap of Radzat-Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. 'Tis possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice.
So that's how we get to Thavnair. Okay.
But the investigation in Charlian is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnarian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
I don't know what you expect me to do here, but okay.
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned. As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Charlian. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Alize and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking. Of course, the more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavner. Thoughts? Objections?
I passed through Thavner on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
Well, common sense dictates we're here in Charlian. Continue on with the Charlian stuff. Sorry, I'm playing around with the light here. Trying to get it to where it lights me up, but doesn't blind me in the process. Might just have to deal with the blinding in the process, unless I move it like further out that way. I could. We'll play around with it, especially at nighttime. Alright, folks, what you got to say? Excuse me. Well, we're here in Charlian, so may as well continue on. An unsettling change has come over Charlian, but together we will divine the underlying cause for the form's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what, and how little, they are willing to divulge. Which is why I began scouring Charlian's archive of historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day. But now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside Numerin, shall we? Numenin. Exit the annex to the right, and you'll find the archives on the western edge of the woods. Oh yeah, literally said go to the right. Hold up. Hold that thought. Blue quest. Is this our first ether current? Ah, hunts. Okay. Yeah, this is just unlocking hunts. Okay. Hunts unlocked for Endwalker. They're called guild jump hunts. I think they did a pretty good job to make this place look neat. Apparently there's a zone outside. Oh. That's Labyrinthios. Okay. Rosalton, Thavnir, Garlemald. And that's all the zones that the game will give us for now, even though I've seen a couple of the zone names and I'm just like, what the hell does that mean? So I'm kind of curious where they are. Oh. Well, let's get the 8th right, at least, and then we go down south. All Aetherites attuned. My directions were easy enough to follow, I hope. In any case, you stand now before the doors of Numenon, Sharlayan's grandest collection of books and tomes. This building is actually only an entrance, and one of many at that, for the archives of Numenon extend deep beneath the surface like the roots of a tree. The vast halls of the Great Google Library pale in comparison to Numenon's endless maze of subterranean chambers. Any citizen of Sharlayan is free to enter and peruse its shelves, most of its shelves. Only Archons are afforded access to certain restricted vaults. I have dispatched Shistola and Raha to investigate those. Meanwhile, Alizé and Alphino will help me continue my search through the stacks open to the general public. Your status presents more of a problem. As a non-citizen, you are only permitted to browse the first floor here at the entrance. Even so, there should be a number of books which touch upon Sharlayan history and foreign policy. Your task will be to find and study the relevant publications. I promise you, a working knowledge of those subjects will make it far easier to spot the sort of clues we're looking for. Let us be about it, shall we? I've told the others to meet us at the stone benches over there once they found something promising. Happy reading! We are going to book extremely hard. So this was what we saw in the trailer, along with a either glass floor or a light floor. Story of Sharlayan. Long, long ago, on an island in the Northern Sea, there lived a Rogadan man by the name of Nyunkrip. Nyunkrip was a student of astrology, and he divined that a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. I forget which one was that giant flood. Third calamity. So So it was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled crew, and set sail for that imperiled realm. The flood arrived as foretold, and to their horror, the strangely churning waters drove the people towards the ocean. It was there, however, that Nunkup's crew hauled them aboard his ark, but the danger had not passed. Towering raved approach, threatening to smash the vessel to pieces. With only moments to spare, Nunkrup wove a mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the entire ship to safety atop Alabathia's spine. Refugees from the surrounding regions huddled there alongside them, but it was not long before disputes over the dwindling supply of food led to violence and bloodshed. Saddened by the sight, Nunkrup gathered to him his crew and his grateful passengers and abandoned the ark to those reddened peaks. They journeyed to the coast, where they built a new ship, intent upon returning to the northern seas. They landed on the beach of an island and settled upon that very spot. The settlement prospered and grew, and in time became the city of Charlian. We live in to this day. Roads of Old, the Colony. Book. Many years ago, on the banks of the Thaliac in the Dravanian hinterlands, a Charlian colony once thrived. This settlement was originally established as a mere outpost to study the ethereal sea in the year 1311 of the Sixth Astral Era. Scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting, and their demands encouraged a gradual expansion in structures and services. As rumors spread of a growing community of academics, the area was further indurated, with Eorzean students hoping to share in the renowned wisdom of the Charlians. 50 years later, the Forum passed a motion to recognize what had become a flourishing town as an official Charlian colony. Eorzean residents took to calling the colony itself Charlian, which led to no small amount of confusion when discussions turned to the subject of the motherland. What's my cat doing? In response, some Charlian inhabitants, if pressed for a name, would simply refer to it as Emporium. Following the Great Exodus, however, goblins and treasure hunters claimed for themselves a corner of the abandoned colony and gave it yet another name, Hildeshire. Useless book. Nope, okay. Thought that was going to be the source equivalent of, the hell was his name? Grandson. I knew it was Grand something. The voice of a growing city. In the years which followed the founding of Charlian, civic policy and other matters of import were decided at the Ecclesia, a public forum at which every citizen was eligible to speak. The city's population grew, however. This format became increasingly impractical. The larger number of participants gave rise to ever longer debates, resulting in significant delays of vital resolutions. As an automation, various measures were introduced in an attempt to curtail protracted discussions, but in the year 201 of the Sixth Astral Era, it was ultimately decreed that Charlian would transition to a new form of governance. The nation would now be led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from amongst their peers by means of a nationwide vote. Thus was the Forum, as we know it today, conceived and created. Cut their population by thousands to literally 100. Introduction to the Heavens. You ever gazed at the skies above and contemplated the mysteries contained therein? I speak not of shifting cloud patterns, but of the vastness beyond, the sun and the twinkling tapestry of the night. Some think the dome above us to be a finite space, yet among the leading thinkers of our age, one scholar's depiction of a boundless sea of stars has firmly taken root. Alas, this heavenly sea remains an unreachable, unknowable destination. There are few indeed who can explain in satisfactory detail why our own star is believed to revolve around the sun. It was the technologicalists of Alag who came closest to understanding the laws which govern that starry abyss. It was they who launched Alamode and sought to expand beyond our earthbound existence. Having rid of their ancient ambitions, I wonder, has your interest in the field of study waxed or waned? What if I were to tell you that the eternal constellations were arranged differently in the distant past? Their positions continue to shift almost imperceptibly, but measurably, as we journey into the future. It shock you to learn that the stars drift further and further apart, and may indeed do so forever. Do you want to learn more? Forever 20 Summers. It sounds like a teen romance novel. My beloved seekers of knowledge, have you ever put learning before your health and neglected to feed and rest your body as you should? I too once engaged in such foolish practices, but one night, engrossed in philosophical study, I had an epiphany. For all the world's mysteries that drive us to reckless abandon, we have so very few years of life in which to achieve our goals. Thus do I share with you this mantra. I am forever 20 summers young. The number itself is unimportant. You'll be 19 or 23 or 40. Whatever age you are when you discover this manual, let that be the age you aspire to remain. Though mindful, healthy living will extend the time available to spend upon your chosen research. Another day, another moon, another summer, to grasp the greater truths you pursue. In the pages that follow, we will explore the secrets of maintaining one's physical addition from a biological, ethereological, and arcane viewpoint. That was not a teen romance novel. I am disappointed. Stewards of Wisdom. It sounds like what we need. During the chaos of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, Archon Yunkrif, founder of Charlian, bore witness to the madness and savagery of men brought to the brink of despair. Upon raising a settlement on an island in the northern Empty, he instructed his people thus: renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. The Charlians took to heart the words of their savior and thenceforth served as stewards of wisdom. Upon a foundation of accumulated learning, they built a homeland unlike any other, a nation born from strength of minds rather than strength of arms. With knowledge of economics came shrewd trading. With knowledge of agriculture came bountiful crops. Engineering brought wells and sewers, ending squabbles over water. Wealth of expertise could be bartered for wealth and coin, and the more their wisdom spread throughout the world, the more mankind as a whole would thrive. And so it was that no matter the trials and tribulations of the age, the citizens of Charlian would live by their founders' teachings. For the sake of a better tomorrow, for the sake of a brighter star, they were to shew the tools of war, and with knowledge deliver the world. We have booked successfully. Sorry, were you waiting long? I wanted to make sure I borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Alphino and Cryle should be along shortly. I was delayed in similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles in the Archon stacks mention the final day specifically, so we have no choice but to start with the tangentially relevant tomes, if there are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare and share our discoveries as we make them. It would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate. Plenty of comfortable places to read and a ready supply of hot tea. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside. But it's not about the little pleasures, is it? You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and asked how things were. Seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphino and I were returned to Charlian, we were not to be allowed across the threshold. A harsh measure indeed. I hope that our efforts to understand his position and that of the Forum will perhaps lead to a reconciliation. We'll mend this rift one day, I'm certain of it. And what of you, Graha? Have you been to visit your family? Or do they not live here in the city? Ah, well, my situation is also somewhat complicated. I was raised in Charlian, yes, but I was born further away. In the southern reaches of Ilsabard, in fact. For generations my people have dwelt in Corvos, the coastal region opposite the island of Thavnir. The Allagans founded a city in that fertile land, and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Midcote to serve as laborers. Of course, the massive earthquakes of the Fourth Umbral Calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign, and when the Fifth Calamity froze the seas solid, many of the tribes still living in Corvus braved the journey back to Eorzea. My ancestors, however, chose to remain, that they might prevent the remnants of Allagan technology from being misused. Isn't Corvus under Gallian rule? For the past 50 years, yes. Some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for most imperial provinces, but Gollumod renamed the region Locus Aminis. When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the nobles of House Darnus. House Darnus demonstrated a singular interest in Allagan civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, voices had been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. After all, the Allaganai no longer passed to our oldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually took the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and traditions of Allag. As the last child born with the Allaganai, I was given over to the custody of friends and the students of Baldassian, who had me registered as a Charlian citizen. I never even considered. Forgive me, it was an unkind question. Even Thancred was taken in by Archon Louis Suave, was he not? Stories of adopted waifs and rescued orphans are more common among Charlians than you might think. Yet regardless of our origins, we are all provided with an equal opportunity to learn, and with sufficient perspective. How do you say this word?
Perspicacity.
Perspicacity. Okay. Perspicacity. We outsiders can even learn the vaunted title of Archon. 'Tis exactly why I have such love for this country, and why I wish it to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. Hear, hear! Another good reason to get to the bottom of the Foreign stubbornness, aside from the trifling matter of our impending doom. Excuse us while we try to make some headway into these books, Lycus. More company should be arriving any moment now. So we learn Graha's backstory. How neat. hold on. So we go to what you call it, Aladdin place, Agrabah. You know, funny enough, people have said that this group of three right here, Graha, Alizé, and us, are going to be what's left after Endwalker. Whenever we go to patch 6.1 and go to whatever new thing we do. We've returned with our selections. Although I must say, pickings were quite slim indeed. Mistress Kryal had already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters, and more than a few which barely made mention of them. As such, we will be looking at research papers on the umbral calamities, as well as articles written by prominent forum members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? I mean, we kind of were there. I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Amarat firsthand, and fear I may be overlooking critical details. You technically were there. My thanks. Now, where to begin? First things first, what kind of phenomena did the ancients encounter as the final days drew nigh? Noise happened, and then their creation magics ran amok, basically. Yes, the unfolding catastrophe wrought havoc on all manner of life. The chaos extended to the ancients themselves, causing their powers of creation to spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining from the sky, fire erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the streets. That more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creations had survived until the present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Y'shtola surmises that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Ascians. Was there aught else of note which heralded the approach of the final days? The noise? Say it began with a keening sound from the land itself. Ah, yes, the Almonorites spoke of it, didn't they? We never did hear this sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were to the midst of the madness. But it seems that each and every one of the catastrophes was preceded by this ominous noise. Eventually it resounded all across the star, and not even Amarat was spared. So the ground was crying out, you say? To be considered a harbinger of doom, it must have been quite distinctive, and probably quite loud. I'll have to speak with one of the Nomenon's mammoths, and ask after any books which make mention of such a sound. Last but not least, could you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive action did they take? They summoned Zodiark. Yes, with Elidibus serving as his heart. So many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. We do not know exactly how Zodiark brought salvation to this star, only that by his godlike will were the laws of nature set aright. Then, once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Life sprouted anew, and it was these fledgling souls they intended to render onto Zodiac, a trade that would allow them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Or might have, had Vanar and her followers not manifested their opposition in the form of Hydaelyn. Thank you, both of you, for the detailed review. I feel much more confident now in my understanding of events. With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Telophoroi truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days. We've seen what they're doing with those towers of theirs. Is forcing people to summon primals a kind of catalyst? Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by unstable creation magics? Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech, a convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash? But this is all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let us return our attention to the form, shall we? We should keep an eye out for Y'shtola, but it's time we began studying these research papers. Do you see anything differently? Nope. I gotta itch my nose. Hold on. Okay, I think I'm good. I'm the last, am I? Well, my extended search of the Archon stacks produced one or two possibly useful books. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Urianger learned of the source's reflection from the Garoon oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, that tome was deemed apocrypha and sealed away in the Great Google Library. 'Tis even less likely that knowledge of the unsundered world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, will be left sitting on a shelf for any curious scholar to find. It stands to reason then my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet when you confronted Master Forshendal with knowledge of the Telophoroi and their machinations, he scoffed at the suggestion that they posed a threat. He seemed adamant that the Forum would know if the final days were truly upon us, which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the Forum's behavior is being kept secret from the rest of the nation. That makes sense. If they know about the 13 shards, 13 shards, the source, and all that. Not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty. Whether they contain mention of the final days or no, these books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone. I've already read books. The hell you want me to do? Book harder than I've ever booked before? Oh dear, you look exhausted. But what about your studies? Were you able to find any books on the subjects I mentioned? Yeah, I found 3 books that gave a bunch of backstory to this place. Then the day was well spent. Should you wish to read them again, a mammon at the reference desk will point you in the right direction. For the moment, though, I suggest you take a well-deserved rest. We might be occupied with our research for quite some time. Ready for a tea break, Linkus? I know I am. Honestly, my neck and shoulders are going to calcify if I don't stretch my legs and walk around for a bit. You know the last stand down in the harbor, don't you? Come and meet me near the outside tables, and I'll treat you to their coffee. It's quite good. The Graha's doing Graha things. Any other blue quests pop up? Oh, there's one. That sightseeing log. Let's go unlock that, I suppose. Bunny boy. Bunny girl. I can't tell the difference between the bunny boys and the bunny girls, I swear. I said the bunny boys were smaller than the bunny girls, but I can't tell the damn difference until I actually, like, look at them. Give me sightseeing logs, please. I imagine those are leaves. I think botanist is technically my highest. Let's unlock these. This is stuff I probably can't do because I probably can't leave anyway, so... More hunts. And based on the name, unlocks moon hunts. Speaking of which, how the hell do you see the map for the damn moon? It's probably that. Like, we know what the name of the place is, like Mare something something, I forget. But can get a moon map. As busy as ever, I see. Very surely, and no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for customers. Actually, this crowd gives me an idea. Before we place an order, let me ask a few questions to gauge the mood of the city. I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about the Telophoroi. Might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think? So, Alisaie's walking with me now, huh? You are an elf lady. Yes, I don't believe I've had the pleasure. Pray excuse the interruption, but we were hoping you might share your thoughts on the Telophoroi and their unconscionable plans. My goodness, isn't the young Miss Levieux? My apologies, but I work in the offices of the Forum, and if word reached Master FF14 that I was helping you... I see. We're sorry to have bothered you. Elf gentleman? What is it? Can a man not enjoy the moment of a private respite? If you're looking to share a table, then I respectfully request that you look elsewhere. You misunderstand, sir. I'm simply wondering if you knew of the Telophoroi. These enemies of peace have promised an end to all we hold dear, and... Wait, you're that House Levieux girl, aren't you? And this man with you is obviously a foreigner. First you were disowned for helping outsiders indulge in their barbaric whims, and here you are giving truth to the rumor. I'll thank you to leave me be. I've naught to say to the likes of you. Well, I must apologize. It was foolish of me to expect an ounce of civility from one so enlightened. Come, Lingus. I'm gonna snap right back at him. Hey, Dickon, give me your damn burgers. I hear they're pretty good. I want to order, or do I have to order it through Grubhub here in about an hour and a half in order to get a pizza emote? Welcome, sir. What can I offer you today? Wait, is that Mistress Alisaie I see there? My word, how long has it been? Far too long. Meet Dickon, the owner of the Last Stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion, in between lessons at the Studium. Why does that look like Starbucks stuff? Well, seems like an age ago now. I remember hearing that you and Master Alphino had set sail for Azuria, but then you never came back. There's been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Everything all right at home? It's complicated, and I hadn't expected complete strangers to be so familiar with that situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems. Well, it is House Levieux. No matter how discreet Master Fortunal may have been, news of your family's doings never stays secret for long. Things being what they are, what brings you to the city now of all times? We have questions, and only Charlian has the answers. Tell me, Master Dickon, have you heard anything about an apocalypse called the Final Days? What, like the end of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. And what's that you're here to find? Information on this apocalypse? Yes, whatever we can learn. Unfortunately, your patrons appear to be unwilling to speak with me. I wish there was more I could do to help. Maybe there is. You're a visitor to Charlian, aren't you? I am. If you will know your face. We should be able to pass you off as a server with none the wiser. We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up some friendly conversation while you're sitting down to food, and you might just get the answers you're looking for. Not a bad idea. I hate to ask, but what do you think? I've done server work IRL. This could work. That's a spirit. Pay attention now, and I'll explain where each of these dishes needs to go. The tea set is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. The omelette is for one of our regulars, a Highlander by the name of Gisla. She's sitting at an outside table with a friend of hers. Behind him, you should see a Mikote gentleman. He ordered the oven-baked lobster. Got all that? If you're not sure, just ask and I'll explain again. Good luck! Well, that is why we have the event tab, so we can look at this. Let's see, the tea set is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. So, tea set. Oh, my tea set! Lovely! Thank you! The Talafa who? Sorry, I never heard of them or the final days. My friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you wanted to hear about that ritual arcane practices of the Sixth Astral Era, common or historic, I'd be happy to talk your ear off. Yeah, no thanks. Gisla wanted the omelet. Ah, finally. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's dig in. No time to waste. You know anything about the Telophoroi in the final days, by chance? What? The Telophoroi? Ah, yes, I remember seeing the name in the latest Gazette. That and some grand claim about the end of days. Same old senseless warmongering. One of these fools grow tired of spilling each other's blood. Best stay out of it, I say. The foreign made the right choice, and I fully support our decision to remain neutral. Give this guy his lobster, I would imagine. At last, the oven-baked lobster is mine. You have no idea how long I've scrimped and saved and suffered to afford this heavenly dish. You wouldn't happen to know anything about the final days and the Telophoroi by chance, would you? Final days? First I've heard of it. Well, that would explain why my friend had been rushed off his feet. It must be a busy time to be a gleaner. A gleaner? You don't know what a gleaner is? Collectors of a sort. Travel the world procuring things that we haven't got here in Charlian. Faceless books, unusual life specimens, and so forth. So named for those folk who trail after the reapers in the fields, picking up every grain which was missed. Aye, by all accounts, gleaning is a most meticulous and demanding profession. If these Telophoroi made good on their audacious threats, many uncatalogued rarities could be lost forever. Why else would the gleaners be buzzing about in such a frenzy? Watch the harbor. Watch the harbor and you'll see what I mean. They're carting loads in from the docks all day. It's never been this hectic before. Not like this. So they're aware of this, and they're bringing in all sorts of stuff before world goes boom. Any trouble with the customers? Were you able to get anyone talking? Not much about the final days, but they are preparing for them. Interesting. They seem unaware of the final days, aside from whatever vague news the gazettes are printing. Even Dickon had nothing to offer. He's the best source of gossip in the city. If the Forum does have secret knowledge, they've done an impressive job of ensuring no one whispers it in the wrong ear. In any case, thank you for paying the pot so well. Here, that cup of coffee I promised. Oh, he's got something. Well, let's enjoy our drink somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind a peristyle, away from the gossips and their wagging tongues. Can't jump up it. Yes, this should do nicely. Out of the wind and out of sight.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Charlian? Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been. How being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently.
With all them artifacts they've been bringing in case the final days do happen, according to them.
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos.
Labyrinthos?
A vast complex beneath the island. Charlian is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility. Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait, didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum.
So we're going to corner one and ask him?
If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
Or we're just going to swim and sneak in? Could work. We still have the Kojin's blessing, so we could just walk underwater. We should tell the others what we've learned about the Gleaners. Go on ahead, Nomanin, and I'll join you in a moment. Master Dickon will want his cups back. If we're going to do this, we'd be the best ones to do it. Because we can breathe underwater. Specifically, Alizé and me. And technically also Lise. But Lisa's got her own problems to worry about, so... As far as doing these side quests and whatnot, I'm probably going to do those off stream. I hear they're actually kind of pretty good. So, if anything, it'll help keep some of my other classes up there, even though... Like Sage, I'm honestly just going to spam MSQ Rolo with. I don't trust myself enough to heal anything else except that. No, Yestola, I'm not running around and doing stuff. Hey, Crow, we got a plan. It's probably stupid, but we got a plan. Welcome back, Linkus. Been for a walk and cleared your head, have you? Not exactly. We did some impromptu investigating and turned up information on the Gleaners. Yeah, they're bringing a bunch of... or going out and coming back a hell of a lot more than what they usually do. Which says... we're aware. Makes sense. The Gleaners take their requests directly from institutions and bureaucrats, but as you say, they ultimately answer to the form. A sudden and insignificant increase in Gleaner traffic and in cargo. It certainly gives the impression of an overarching plan being put into motion. Let us see what theory we can build from the facts. As Yestola observed earlier, Numenen's archives appear to contain no information concerning the final days. Coupled with what Linkus and Alizé learned at the last stand, we can be reasonably sure that most Sharlayans know nothing of that particular period of ancient history. Yet my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but are also somehow certain that the destruction being perpetrated by the Telophoi is wholly unlike those apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum claims to be so occupied by a duty of such pressing importance, they saw fit to unanimously deny Eorzea's request for aid. And now the Gleaners, official agents of the state, have been mobilized on an unprecedented scale. I do not think it a stretch to conclude that the Gleaners' recent activities are in service to the Forum's secretive ends. In which case, our next course of action seems obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves. And if we're lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions. Anything would be better than burying my head in another dusty book. I understand not everyone is the studious type. Consider this a welcome change of pace, then. As for myself, there are a few more subjects I would like to research. I may join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I'll see to it that each is returned to its proper place. That would be a great help. Thank you, Raha. Let's head down the stairs over there, and I'll show you where the entrance is. Lead the way, Alizé. Raha, enjoy doing the thing you were doing in the trailer. Ready? Labyrinthos is not too far from here, but you may find the path a bit disorientating. I'll take the lead, so stay close. I'll literally have to RP walk. Okay. Although it would be nice if she actually walked at walking pace. You troll. Going slower than walking pace and then speed up to normal run pace. This is kind of a neat deal. Get you more versed into the world, invested into the game. Oh. Here we are, through this door and down the stairs. You did remember to attune to the shard back there, didn't you? It will make your life much easier if you need to come back in a hurry. Otherwise, we should keep moving. I'm pretty sure I attuned to it, but I'm going to make sure. So it's through this door. Zip, zip, zip. Okay. Chocobo keep, don't care. I'll get flying soon enough. Well, here now, yes. I've taken the liberty of securing permission for our group's descent. Right, everyone onto the lift and down we go.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky. In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves. And this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation.
Sheep.
Knowledge, buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. but I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Mm-hmm. Echo?
Did you call to me just now?
No.
No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
Trial. Yeah, it's gonna be a two-parter again. First off, Ether Compass. 397 yards to the east. That is west. That is east. So we'll get that sooner or later. You have to know what I'm doing. Hauling books and ore and fauna. If it needs hauling, I haul it. Hey, every decade or so, they take stock in Labyrinthos. You know, sort and tidy up the inventory. Never seen an operation like this before, though. They just did one a few summers ago, even. And with no warning at all, this mess gets dropped and all that. Oh, excuse me. Orders from on the high. Damned if I know the reason. Could be that they're changing the layout, huh? Preparing for the next big expansion. I want to see that light up. Wonder what lies over there, and why we're coming back at level 88. I never thought I shouldn't have done that on my paladin. Should have done it on should have done it on my dork knight. Got free experience. Let me think. The Ray of Seas should be item 1058. Come and Seas 1059. Snurbbleberry 1060. Where are they 1061? My head feels like it's stuffed moko grass. What more loads of takeout to carry in? Why do all this at once and risk mixing it up? Unless someone mistakes the Kurth and carrots for Garbanian carrots. What then? Still sell the same stuff. Bunny boy. Here to help or give me more headaches? Because you don't have the look of a gleaner, and I'm in no mood for idle chatter. One of my colleagues was so exhausted he took a tumble and crashed into a pile of crates. Now a pack of marmots running loose. Any luck, Linkus? What tales do the gleaners have to tell? They got a bunch of stock, they're worried about them getting confused, and they're overworked and underpaid. So this grand operation began without warning, and for every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else. Explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We were right. The Forum is definitely up to something. They're turning Labyrinthos upside down in the process. We would do well to learn more of what, specifically, the Gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who had tasked them to do it. If you're game, Linkus, I have an idea. Didn't one of the Gleaners you questioned say something about escaped marmots? Perhaps if you were to help him capture said creatures, he might be inclined towards a more friendly and enlightening conversation. In the meantime, I will turn my charms upon this Gleaner here. We can compare notes afterwards. Happy hunting! Why did I lean down to do that? What the hell is this music? Hey, want some help with them mammoths? Just to help me find the marmots. Nothing suitable to pay you for your services, but if you're offering out the goodness of your heart, and welcome the assistance. I'll get him, don't worry about it. The name is Ernville, friend, specialist in the collection of live specimens. As said, the capture of these Naxian marmots is a trial I have no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For mercy, there are no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in this sack. Gently, of course. Where to begin, you wonder? Suddenly seen any scampering around here, so we'll need to widen our search into the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey upon a mammoth, or you. I'll search the trees to the west. The eastern part of the forest is all yours. Good luck. And back to slow speed again. Actually, what am I doing? We ride on this steed because we are being lore nerds. The hell? It's all the way the hell up there, isn't it? Oh no, it's up there. Hurdy-durdy, herpadur. I like the music. Open world music is definitely better than what we had in Shadowbringers. You know what? I ain't moving. I'd dodge it anyway. This thing's music, though. What is this? Travel, mount speed. It's going to be the same. Okay. Wow, they cut down on those a lot. 5 in quests and 4 in the world. I don't see anything out here but trolls, my brethren. Or my. Okay, so you can start a combo. You can start a 1-2-3 combo with the tournament charges, but if you start hitting a tournament, then it breaks the combo. It's good to know. Alright, where's this little... There it is. This Sun's music is a thing that exists. Alright, get in the damn bag. You little shit. Yeah, got it. Oh wow, okay. I was gonna say, why did I go dark? But I need to play around with this light some more. Make it where it doesn't blind me. How'd you fare? I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. I got 1. Ah, there's the odd marmot out. You sneaky little bastard. I hear him when I put our friends in a holding cage. Thankfully, the marmots seem to be unharmed. They've held up well in isolation, but it's much too soon to release them in their habitat. It's a good thing we were able to capture them so it's a good thing we were able to recapture them so swiftly. You have my thanks. So what will you do with them now? Yeah, it's for the Forum to decide. They are the guiding authority behind Labyrinthos, after all, and this job was but one small part in this great inventory of theirs. Suitable for consumption and easy to breed, those were the 2 conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. I don't know what the Forum has planned for these creatures, but at the very least I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. There you are, Linkus. They planning to hold up down here. Is this the cleaner you mentioned? The one who is looking for lost marmots? Interesting company you keep, friend. Who are you folk, anyway? I am Cryo of the Studios of Baldessian. These others are my associates. Truth be told, the Forum's decisions of late have not sat entirely well with us. That is why we made the descent into Labyrinthos. We hoped that by seeing those decisions put into action, we might more fully understand the reasoning. Why is it practical? Never hurts to try and gain a broader perspective, does it? Anyway, duty calls. Other animals to capture and enclosures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services. You gave us information, that's good enough. Did you learn anything new from your friend there? They wanted animals that are easy to breed and easy to eat. It's basically saying this is a shelter and they want to hold up down here. So we've confirmed that the order for this ambitious operation did indeed come directly from the Forum. However, the Gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. I'd say that fits with everything we've heard thus far. We also discovered when the operation was begun, the Forum contracted the Gleaners' guild ship and put their people to this great work some 4 days after the Telophoi made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners keep abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. Altogether, it gives the distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. Yet I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been planned in so brief a window. Nay, this plan was long in the making. They were but awaiting the right time to put it to effect. And the Telophoi's declaration was what set it all in motion. It seems likely, But let us not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In that case, how about we head to the Archeon? Archeon? From there, we can reach the lower... Cryo, what's wrong? I'm fine, truly. The sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache, that's all. You mentioned getting called earlier. Are you going to get yoinked to the first? Nothing that will stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it then. At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to the Archeon. We follow the path east, through the forest, where you were chasing after that mouse. Or marmot, was it? Anyway, 'tis the trolls you need to watch out for. I'm 2 levels above them, I'm fine. So with that, what are they called, glisteners? Gleaners. Based on what that bunny boy gleaner told us, they wanted animals that are easy to breed and nutritious, was it? Suitable for consumption and easy to breed. They want to hold up down here, wait out the final days, and come back up when everything's all hunky-dory. Behold, the Archeon. As Numeran serves as Charlian's literally archive, so does this structure house the city's wealth as material data. The architecture too is similar. The building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vault carved into the cliffside itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a manner of speaking, the Archeon contains a physical history of Charlian's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. I think there is a good pause point for the day, since the Game Awards are about to happen. I completely forgot about. And also, I want to do something about this light. It's functioning, but I feel like it could do better. I don't know. I have a lamp over there. Might just turn on. Let me see. If I turn this off, you still see me pretty good with the lights off the screen, but that's not what I want. I have to bite the bullet and just do that. Because that... Oh, excuse me. Does a good bit. Might have to move it over here, though. Well, while I have people trapped here, let's do this. I might do it tomorrow morning when there's actually light. Anyways, see who's doing anything. Actually, this person I found out recently, thanks to one Mr. Jesse Cox, Faye Lynn is doing post Stormblood stuff. So if I can raid them, let's raid them, shall we? See, I'm trying to think. I think this is 4.2 they're on? No, 4.1, because they're doing the salt factory storyline. So can I raid them? Yes, I can. Alright, folks. It's going to be it for me for the evening. Thank you so much for hanging out, lurking, chilling, talking, whatever it is you do. I don't know when part 2 will be. Normally, whenever I was normally streaming, I would take Fridays and Saturdays off. But I don't know, since this is Endwalker and I want to play it, and I put it off for far too long. But, yeah. Thanks for coming out. If I don't appear tomorrow or Saturday, hope you folks enjoy your weekends. And I will see you whenever I go live again. I'm probably not going to stick to any real schedule, just stream when I'm ready. Alright, folks. Take care. Be safe. Have a good rest of your night, rest of your day. And I will see you soon. Take care.